Welcome to It's Tea Time. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor, filling in for Jonathan Sellers this week. And joining me is Jeremy McClain, Athletic Director here at Troy University. Talk a little about Trojan sports and a variety of things going on, including a lot of championships on plate for this week. But before we get into some of that stuff, let's talk about one of the biggest events going on this week, at least for the Trojan Nation, and that's the fact that we're getting a Super Bowl champion, former Trojan returning to campus, and just all the celebration that goes along with that.
Yeah, so on Tuesday, it's going to be a great day. It's DeMarcus Ware Day in the state of Alabama. We're going to be in Montgomery to honor him with the legislature and the governor's office there, and have a great day around the lunchtime hour. And then we'll move everything here to Troy, beginning at 5 p.m. in Trojan Arena. We're going to have a great event with DeMarcus there, and we'll have a chance to honor him. Several different groups, the city of Troy, our alumni group, Coach Blakeney is going to be involved. From an athletic department standpoint, we're going to be able to honor him. So it's going to be a great event. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we encourage everybody to come out. Admission is free. We want everyone to come out and really, I've said this several times, but it's a chance for us just to pat him on the back and let him know how proud we are of him and what he's been able to accomplish.
And a part of that is just showing the pride in somebody who has meant so much to the program and still could continue to mean much more to the program. So.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the key to it. We're all obviously very proud of him as a Troy Trojan, and we want him to know that. And so this will be a great opportunity for us to just do just that.
And so now, DeMarcus Ware, it's going to be exciting and all, but that's a little bit of the past. Let's talk about the present and some championships that are on the line going on this week. There's at least 4 different championships that are on the line this week, starting with one that's the three-peat possibility going on with the women's golf program.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
they're competing right now, and I think as we have this discussion, it's round 2 of that tournament. We'll be moving in round 3 tomorrow, and still in position, I think, in second place right now, a few strokes back. So we'll be in a position to try to get that three-peat. That's not easy to do in any sport. And our women's team, they've had a great spring, and so we'll need one more day to finish strong.
And how exciting for a school and a program to be able to almost get to that dynasty level status, to be able to say 3 in a row. So
yeah, it's pretty special, and I think you got to give a lot of credit to our coaches, and our student athletes, obviously, who go out there and compete and continue to try to get better. I mean, there's been no sense of complacency on their end. They're out there, trying to compete, using our new facility to help them get better every day. And I tell them there's not a time I go by that facility that I don't see somebody either in the building or out there working, and that's really exciting.
And of course, from a director perspective, you hear Matt and Bart talk about constantly how that facility is one of the big parts of what they feel has brought this together. And you got to think to yourself, this is what we work for, and this is what you work for to try to help improve the facilities.
No doubt. I think that's really gratifying for any of us who are part of the program to hear that it's having an impact, from our donors to our staff to our folks here on campus. That it's having an impact on our student athletes, and it's a resource to help them be successful, and it's really exciting.
And now the women in action as we're taping this, but then the men, they're going to their tournament, same location,
right.
A couple days later. So the excitement about the level for the men competing in the conference championship.
They'll start on Sunday, and same location, same course, and our men's team has really positioned themselves well for a postseason berth, regardless of what happens in the tournament. Now, there are no guarantees, but we're in good position. Need to finish strong in the tournament, and hopefully we can bring home some hardware there, but have a really strong chance of continuing their season after conference play as well.
And of course, it doesn't hurt for the men to get a chance to see the women play on the same course and maybe get a little bit of advice from some of those players down there as well.
Sure, no doubt about it. I think that's always an advantage when you have some familiarity with the course.
And now talk a little about moving over to tennis, because they're going to be in action this week. Talk about what tennis has on their plate.
Yeah, so they'll be in New Orleans starting later this week. It'll be their conference championship, and again, both of them have had really successful springs, and I think I think the men will probably go in as a 2 seed, and the women are going to be a 4 seed, I think. And so both of them have positioned themselves pretty well to be seeded well and to compete in that tournament. Both have had a lot of success this year, and we look forward to seeing how that bears out.
And of course, once again, another opportunity to capture a repeat there this week in that situation. So obviously, once again, seeing this continued success, and especially in what a lot of people may not see as the dominant programs in the facility. That's your baseballs, your basketballs, but I know it's probably got to make you feel good to see this kind of success and see interest in this kind of success.
No doubt. I mean, I think you go back to the beginning of the year with soccer. I mean, they really set the tone from, we say an Olympic sports standpoint. And it's been a banner year for our women's programs, whether it's soccer or women's basketball or tennis or golf, or we're really in a position to be a very, very complete department, and that's what we talked about when I first got here. It's something we really talked about wanting to do, and be the best department in the conference. And so I think we're headed in the right direction. It's exciting to see, and it's fun to have some excitement this spring, with the success we've had in several sports. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, and talking about success in sports and women's sports, we cannot forget the big news for softball this past week. Hannah Day getting drafted this past week, and that's something, a historic moment for Troy and the softball program.
Yeah, very excited for her. What a great honor, what a great opportunity to continue her career, and I know that's going to be a lot of fun for her. But you're right, I think it's kind of a milestone or a stepping stone for us as a program. Just seeing that we're moving in a very positive direction, and they've had a lot of success this spring and still are positioned well in the conference, and got several weekends here to finish out strong and be seated well going into the conference tournament. And so we're moving in a very positive direction there, and that's just one kind of indication of that.
Yeah, and then before we wrap up here, baseball got a big road test on them in front of them this week. Talk a little bit about what baseball's got on tap.
Yeah, big game on Tuesday. We'll be going up to Alabama to play the Crimson Tide, and they beat us here at home early in the year. A very close game. We had a lead until the 8th inning. Had a 1-run lead, and then they scored 2 to end up winning it 2-1. So we'll be looking for some revenge there. Yeah. It'll be a big RPI game for our guys, and then we come back this weekend and host Texas Arlington. So it'll be a big week all the way around. Of course, T-Day this weekend, and it's going to be a great weekend with the scrimmage at T-Day starting at 12:30 for football. Then baseball and softball at home as well. And so it should be a lot of fun, a lot of things to do.
Action-packed Trojan Sports weekend with football, baseball, softball, and then folks at the edge of their seat waiting on to see what's going to happen with the other stuff throughout the week, the women's golf, and then the men's and women's tennis program. So maybe one of the most exciting weeks of the semester so far.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. So well, thanks for joining us, and here's hoping that folks come out and enjoy some of those Trojan Sports this weekend. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for more of what's coming up in Trojan Athletics on It's Tea Time. We're back, and we're going to talk a little baseball with head coach Mark Smart. Mark, busy week for you guys, split over the course of the week, but overall, pretty good, strong showing for the baseball team.
Normally a 2-2 week, Aaron, you're not excited about it, and we're not excited about a 2-2 week. But inside of the 4 games, we played really good baseball. I was really pleased with how our team competed. Started Tuesday night. We finished our 9-game homestand, which was really good for our team. We played well throughout. Jacksonville State, the former rival that our athletic department did a great job with the Whoop Jack State T-shirts, and the chant came out a couple of times. That was really fun. But
well, there's plenty of opportunities for the chant.
There was, and but we really had we were down 5 late in that game and tied it, and ended up going 16 innings, and they hit a late homer to beat us. But it was a great game. I was really proud of our team, the way they fought through that game. And then that led into our first road trip in about 3 weeks, and we handled it well. We went to Arkansas State. We won 2 out of 3. We lost the middle game Saturday night 4-3. Played well enough to win, but not well enough to win. We missed a couple things there, but the Friday win was 11-1. The Sunday win 8-1. So I thought we established we were the better team, and like I said, disappointing 2-2, but not at all disappointed in how we played and fought through the week.
Yeah, you got to be excited when the wins are big wins and the losses are close losses.
We had chances in every, the 2 losses certainly, and I was, like I said, we could have had a big loss Tuesday night, down 6-1 late in that game, but we rallied and came up and tied it in the 9th. So we're doing good enough things to win those close games. I really like the position our team's going in down this stretch run.
And now, transitioning to this week, we've got a big road matchup. You had an in-state rival last week come here, but now you're heading up the road to Tuscaloosa for.
Looking forward to Tuesday night. We do go play Alabama, and I mentioned this over the weekend after the Sunday game. Anytime you get a chance to play an SEC team, it's a great opportunity, certainly for Troy. What I'm looking forward to, Aaron, is we get to see their renovated ballpark. They spent millions of dollars renovating their ballpark, and to the tune where they did not play a game there last year. They played all their games in Birmingham. So I haven't seen it yet, and I'm looking forward to pregame getting to see the place. And the field itself hadn't changed much, but the surroundings have. So, but it's a good opportunity for our team to play a quality opponent on the road. It would be a great win for our team as we position ourselves down the stretch here.
Of course, maybe get a couple of tips, architectural tips for Riddle.
Renovation coming. I like it. I'll get with the right people on that
There you go. Now, transitioning from Alabama on the road, back home, another conference series. You got UTA coming in this weekend.
Texas Arlington's coming in this weekend. It'll be good to get back home. Now it's kind of a home away finish for our team, but we're home this weekend. Texas Arlington is a third year in the league, and quite frankly, they've beaten us both years in the series. They beat us 2 out of 3 the last 2 years, so we've got to improve that. Good offensive team. Their Friday night starter's really good. But they hang their hat on the offense, so we're going to have to pitch well to have a chance to win that series.
And of course, an opportunity to see the Trojans in action in a action-packed weekend, so get a chance to see a little bit of everything.
Lot going on. I'm really excited about the weekend here in Troy. We've got softball at home. We've got the spring football game, and I wish I could go down and sneak a little bit of that. I don't know that I can because of the time component, but I'm excited for Coach Brown and his staff putting their team through their spring drills. I've followed it from a distance. I've talked to him a time or two, and I know that's a big day for them. And quite honestly, I hope some of that energy from their crowd that maybe spills over to Riddle Pace at 3 o'clock to kind of feed into our series, second game with Arlington.
As I say, they get a chance when they leave the T-Day game, head on over to Riddle Pace.
Come on out and enjoy. The outfield's where it's at. That's where all the fun is. The Doubles Alley crowd out there has been terrific all year. Last Tuesday was a fun night too, Aaron. Our radio crew was out in left field, and they had a great time. They were treated well by the fans out there with great food and great atmosphere. I did the post game out there, and it was a really good thing. And I hope they end up doing it again out there before the year's out.
Should be fun. A good opportunity to enjoy a different side of the baseball program out there. So,
no doubt.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
And stay tuned for more of what's coming up in Trojan Athletics coming up after this. Welcome back to It's Tea Time, and we're going to talk a little football with defensive coordinator Vic Koning. Vic, thanks for joining us.
Well, it's my honor.
And football season, we're in the spring, so we're talking about spring practice. So obviously, got a couple of weeks under your belt. Tell us so far how things are looking in the spring football.
In the South, they say there's 3 seasons. There's fall football, and then there's recruiting, then there's spring football. And anyway, so we're having a good time. We've stretched it out. Coach Brown stretched it out about as far as you can. Let guys kind of recoup between practices, keep the weight lifting going between practices, and gives us time to meetings between so we can kind of get everything watched. And I think we're getting a lot better. It's like when you have kids and your grandparents, you don't see their grandchildren for a while, and then they see them and how much they've grown. And when you're around them every day as parents, you don't really realize how much they've grown. So I know some of that's going on with our team. We're better at a lot of things, knee bend and balance, and I know they have a lot better understanding of what we're trying to get done on both sides of the football. And we're working extremely hard on the fundamental aspects, because we know that unless you've got that shored up, it's like having a roof that leaks. You got to put every little nook and cranny. You got to have some kind of protection, and so we're just trying to take care of every little leak.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of scrutiny on your side of the ball coming in due to some I guess slow years in the defense, maybe a bit of a tear. But after 1 year under your belt and moving into the spring, how are things feeling on the defensive side?
Well, just to kind of recoup a little bit of last year, I feel like we could have easily been in the 30s as far as nationally, which was up from the hundreds and whatever they were before. We tried not to dwell on the negative. We didn't finish as well as we would have liked, and our aspirations are higher than that. So, I think that our players understand what's expected. They have a lot better understanding that they can't loaf to the ball, that they've got to do certain things, and that the things that get you beat are missed tackles and missed assignment. And it really helped. With Belichick the year before, when they went to the Super Bowl, their motto was just do your job. And so we've kind of milked that to death. And really, that's a lot of it. We had 54 plays last year where we gave up, we call a big play, where there's a 25 pass or a 15 run. And if we just cut that back into the 30s, I think we got a top 20, top 25 type defense. And then once you kind of get into that thin air, then you don't know how, it just depends on the game and how things go. And that's our aspiration.
And of course, now all this is built up. We had 2 scrimmages under your belt so far during the spring. Heading into T-Day, exciting opportunity for Trojan fans to see the team in action.
Well, no, there's no question. Coach Brown probably did it on purpose to where we're not fighting Auburn and not fighting Alabama, and we're the only game in town. And it would be great for our players to get a lot of people in the stand. I know they tend to produce when there's people cheering for them, and it's great when their moms and dads and girlfriends and stuff come, but when there's other people come there, I just know it helps the excitement factor. And then the other part of it for us is we kind of have a feel now who our players are going to be. And, there's still some young guys we're really trying to get a whole lot of reps in, but for the majority of the guys that I think are going to be starters on both sides of the football, this is a time for us to back them off and kind of let them assume leadership roles or continue to have the leadership role, but really cut back on the risk of the injury and just really kind of bring in the youth and develop the depth. Because with the schedule, with 12-game schedule, and with some of the people we play, we're going to have more depth, and that's an issue on this football team. And I know Coach Brown will be the first to tell you that we're playing with like 44 scholarship guys out there right now, and that's really low. So we can't get anywhere near our 85 for a couple of years, but we're trying every avenue we can.
Well, here's hoping that folks get a chance to go out to Veterans Memorial Stadium and check out the work in progress and rebuilding that wall out there.
We'll be enthusiastic, and we're going to have fun, and I think they'll have a good time.
Well, here's hoping they do have a good time and enjoy some Trojan football. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us on this week's edition of It's Tea Time.